Good morning, one and all. Today's topic is Kerberos. It is also one authentication protocol. So, last class we discussed the authentication protocol called Nadim Skrider protocol. Okay, so we discussed what are the different versions of Nadim Skrider protocol. Today we'll see another protocol called Kerberos. A user could use same password for all servers, but distributing and maintaining those password files across multiple servers poses a risk. That is, assume like I am a user, I want to log in to the internet. Once I logged into the internet, I want to access Gmail account and I want to access a Facebook account. So we'll have a different password for each application. So as a human, it is very difficult to remember different password for different applications, right? So these are many problems we are going to face. If you are keeping same password, it will be a problem. Attacker can easily guess what may be the problem, right? So apart from this, there are many other problem that is called as there may be a possible of dictionary attacks, or password should be sent in clear, or a single user enters her password only once during. So as a user, so he want a system like once he logged in, he want to access many servers or many services, right? So these application, these kind of authentication is possible through the protocol called as Kerberos, right? So as a single user want to access multiple services through a single login, that is possible through the protocol called Kerberos. Okay, so this is why we need to study Kerberos, which is developed by MIT. It has many revisions. So the latest versions we are discussing today is called as Kerberos version 5. So whatever we studied KDC in Nadim Skrider protocol will be split here into two parts, right? KDC is having responsibility to distribute the key. Here that is divided into two parts, which is called as authentication server and ticket granting server. Okay, so any client want to access services from a particular server, so he has to follow these three steps with exchanging of two messages in each step. These are three steps and he want to perform two exchange of messages. Client want to authenticate with a server for particular service. How the process will take place? It is very simple. Assume first client want to authenticate with authentication server to get a ticket. So we call it as ticket granting ticket. So you will get a ticket granting ticket to communicate with TGS, that is ticket granting service. Once he got ticket from AS, he will communicate to TGS. Why he will communicate? He want to get a service granting ticket. Means to which server you want to communicate, you should get the ticket. Once he got the ticket, he is going to authenticate with the server. Clear? These are 6 messages that are going to exchange. It is very simple. Assume like you want to go for any movie. The first thing is you should get the movie ticket, right? So that is similar here. We call it as ticket granting ticket. Once you got a movie ticket, a security person will easily allow you in the entrance of the theater, right? Then you can be easily entered into the hall for watching a movie. The same thing happens here. So that is what I said. First is client request for ticket granting ticket, then client receives the ticket, then he will communicate to the service granting ticket for the TGS. Once he got the service granting ticket, client is authenticating with the server. So all these things is sharing of messages. How the messages will be exchanged with these 3 steps with 6 messages. Those messages you should understand, because it is one compulsory question as well as very important you will get. So you need to demonstrate this diagram with exchange of these 6 messages. So if you understood this concept, remember this what example I said. So through that example you can write these messages. It is all representations. Whatever you understood the previous class, Nadam-Sridhar protocol, in the similar way the messages exchanging will take place. See here, first message is from C to AS, means from client to authentication server. Remember the diagram. So then what is the message is, already you know, C within double quote stands for identity of client. It will include his username, password. Then TGS is identity of TGS, to whom I want to communicate with times, mean what time the session should start and how long the session, though that is present in times. And R1 you are familiar, it is a timestamp. R1 is a timestamp. So at what time it is communicating to AS, that is for security, that is for authentication, right? So then the second message is from authentication server to C. So what is that? So authentication will send back from whom he received the identity of client with ticket TGS. This is a ticket is encrypted with TGS. And the another field is encryption of this TGS, identity of TGS, and the key. This is a session key between client and TGS. How you studied the key between A and B in Nadam-Sridhar protocol. Similarly, it is key between C and TGS, session key between these two, and timestamp and random number R1. See here, the ticket TGS is nothing but encryption of client identity TGS. Whatever here it is there, the same thing again encrypted with the TGS. TGS is the key of ticket granting server. That is the long term key of TGS, right? So I already showed the notation in last class. This is encryption of the whole content through this key, and similarly this is encryption of whole content with this key, where C is a session key, C is a key of that client, TGS is a key of that TGS, whereas KC TGS is a session key between these two. So this is what he received ticket, means ticket granting ticket he received along with these things, means he receives the information, identity information, and how they are authenticated with times and random number nonce. So similarly the third and fourth message is between client to TGS. When client is sending message to TGS, it is saying to which server I want to authenticate with times and one authenticator. This is used for authentication, that is to which server it want to communicate, with what ticket is received, with another nonce called R2. R1 is used previously, so R2. So next, C authenticator C is the client, from which client identity with timestamp 1 encrypted using that session key. Then from TGS, client is receiving that the ticket. That ticket is called as ticket S. What this ticket S is? Encryption of client identity with the key, session key between client and server with times encrypted using server's long term key, along with the same thing is encrypted with C and TGS, which is having times and R2. See, that is receiving service granting ticket to communicate with particular server, right? So through the ticket he can communicate with a server. See the last two set of messages between client to server, ticket S and authenticator C. Authenticator is C is for authentication with some timestamp and identity. Then message 6 is timestamp incremented by 1 with this key, that indicate client and server is authenticated by themselves. Clear? Very important question. See the diagram, you can easily explain. Any doubts you can communicate to me. Okay. So one more topic, very simple and already your familiar topic in this chapter 3 of module 3 is called biometrics, right? Everyone familiar. In your mobiles you are using, you kept passwords as your face or your fingerprint or your voice, right? Or your signatures, right? You have the signature means you can keep a patterns. You can keep a patterns as your passwords. And nowadays the iris of human eye or DNA, that also be used as a password, right? So this is a biometric or biological feature or characteristic of a person we are uniquely identifying his or her lifetime, right? So this is called as biometric authentication. So everyone are familiar, you can easily write on this. So here we have mainly two process, enrollment as well as recognition. So enrollment is nothing but you are keeping your photo as your login, or your opening of your mobile is that is what you are calling as enrollment. Means some sample should be there in your mobile or system, that is called as the enrollment. Reference template, the photo what you are keeping, or what is the image you are keeping, or fingerprint, that should be saved in the database. And recognition is when you are login, you are providing a sample that should be compared with the reference templates, that is called as recognition. These are the two process with two different types of scenarios. One is called authentication and the other one is called identification. Authentication means exactly you are only communicating with your login, so that is it is a one-to-one match. So I am verifying with my fingerprint to log in my mobile, that is authentication. Whether I am logging in some other mobile with my fingerprint, so it won't match, again some others should be matched, that is called identification. It is main one to many match. Okay, so this is the two different stages with there are some good biometric characteristics. What are those characteristics is universality. So all humans have a contribute sample, so we will have a sample, so that is called as universality. Then uniqueness, each and every sample should be uniquely identified by a particular person. Then permanence, so that is like voice we can't keep because it will change over a time, so permanence should be there. And the other things you can keep like fingerprints, iris, can, all those things. So you are familiar how to keep all these as a samples, right? That how you can keep fingerprints as well as iris can also be kept as your passwords. Clear? So this is about biometric authentication. Okay, thank you.